Alright guys, I got another model review. This is of my custom, I guess it's custom built T800 lowboy tractor. I was going for that short, heavy spec look. It's got a heavy drop axle, heavy steers, some nice straight flat top stacks. This is it's one of the old Norscott T800s. I think this one I bought and it was already blue, and I just built up from there. Got it hooked to a first gear Talbert lowboy, and I got my 568 road builder on there. I've been working on that one for a while, but as you can see here, it's one of the problems with the Tonkin models. You guys all know what the lowboy trailers look like, just a standard first gear trailer. I haven't done anything to it. It's I think the gooseneck's actually glued onto that one, so I have done something to it. But I'll get that out of the way. But this T800, I got first gear headache rack on it, and that I painted in blue. I thought it was kind of cool. Added some CB antennas, of course the straight pipes. Those didn't come like that naturally, but I added a fifth or a pintle hitch to this truck. I need to still need to finish that pintle hitch plate, apparently. So swapped it over to a first gear fifth wheel. That one, I had other plans for this truck. I was going to make it into a dump truck, but I didn't. I put the dump box on there and I didn't like how it was going, so I decided to go heavy spec with it and make it into a lowboy truck. So the fifth wheel is just glued in place flat, and then we got a hydraulic tank here for the wet kit. These are all first gear axles. I got a parts truck that I've been taking stuff off of for a while now. First gear mud flaps. Everybody will be familiar with those. But this is just your standard Norscott T800. It's just been repainted blue. It is the Norscott frame and chassis. Still has the cat engine. These are pretty nice trucks. I don't really think they're worth $100 like they've been going for, considering that there's not a lot of people looking for a Flying J tanker truck these days. But they have a good amount of detail for what they are. I added the air cleaners here. Those are first gear as well. Pretty much just a lot of first gear parts on here. The smokestacks are actually chromed brass tubing. And if you wonder where to get that, if you go out to Radio Shack or like an electronics supply kind of store, you can find extendable radio antennas, or go to Goodwill and get a radio, or if you have an old AM/FM that doesn't work anymore, pull the extendable antenna off of it, and that's what the tubing, it's chromed brass tubing. Works great for smokestacks on model trucks. But everything I got's dirty. I screwed up these doors on this one. I don't know what I was doing, but the logos are a little wonky. I tried to fix the one side and it lifted the paint clean off the cab. So one of these days I'm going to have to repaint this one. But like I said, these are pretty nice models. I just don't think they're... I seen one go on eBay a while back for $120, and it's just... If you want it real bad, I guess it's worth it, but I don't think they're it takes a lot of work to turn them into something else, But I got clearance lights here. I got my proper pokey thing here. I added some clearance lights. I found those. I get them at Michael's, the hobby store, craft store. I guess it's more of a craft store. I think they have them at Joann Fabrics too, but they are flat back jewels or something like that. They work great for clearance lights on these trucks. They look about right. But what I use for the CB antennas on top is just, I think I salvaged this off of a Sword parts truck at some point. It's what they use for like hydraulic lines and whatnot. So that's where I get that stuff from. This one's a pretty simple build. Just robbed a bunch of parts off of a first gear Pete and put them on here. You know, the drop axle, everything's anatomically correct under here for the most part, except for that Bluetooth drive line, which is in this thing to SEMA. But other than that, it's about right. You can see that I had to modify the front axle to accept the first gear steer axle, so it doesn't turn anymore, but it looks pretty beefy now, So that's that. And then, like I was saying, the fifth wheel plate's just glued in place. Everything rolls like it's supposed to. My build models, I like to try and make them where they'll roll or move. Like, I don't want to put something together and not have the hood open or something like that. This gap right here is kind of bugging me right now. I didn't see that earlier. But that's that. But I guess we'll go over the trailer as well. While we're filming, I might as well, I guess. Just your normal first gear Talbert lowboy. Like I said, I think this one's glued, the gooseneck's glued down. But they got their trailer brakes, airlines. There's an electrical, so you can detach the gooseneck. This would go with it. Yeah, this one's glued for sure. But it's got flip down ramps, loading ramps. These are pretty simple trailers compared to the Sword WSI now makes them, Rogers trailers. But they do have tilt out outriggers, and they have extension boards, but I use those for other stuff all the time. So yeah, just your typical first gear trailer. Me and this camera are not get along today, but it looks good together. Looks more like something you'd see, a lot of times out here in Oregon. You don't get lowboy tractors that are that short. You don't really. For the weight loss here, they gotta spread them out further to get their axle weights and everything. But that's that. And I don't know. I really like these T800s for custom projects. I got another one here. It's a shop truck I just built not that long ago. One of my first projects I'd done since I bought the F250s. It's again, robbing a lot of first gear parts. Run the first gear service body and crane. I left the factory Norscott axles on this one, so I do have a steering front axle. And the hood opens still. Left it as a cat. I've done these before where I've pulled the engine out and painted it red for a Cummins, but these C15s are pretty good engines in the one-to-one world, so for I'll leave them in my model trucks. It's the hardest part about these trucks is getting the headlights out of them without breaking them or shooting them across the room and never finding them again, because it's not like you can just run down to the store and get another one. I haven't made them in a while, so spinning around here. Door decals, Timberline Thinning Company. But I believe that smokestack is off of a 335 Pete Sword truck, like a rollback that I had a long time ago for parts or something. It's not the North Scott smokestack, but I thought it looked fitting for a shop truck. And then here in the back is where all the fun stuff's at. Got my fire extinguisher there. And then some hydraulic hoses. These are fun to build. I get parts for these at Michael's. I believe, of course it's too close, they are the stuff I use for these. It's for making bracelets. Most random thing I've ever seen, but they look a lot like a hydraulic hose. But I got a whole bunch of tools and stuff in the back of the truck. Normal shop truck shenanigans. Went ahead and painted the top of everything black. This vise is the one that came with it, and I pulled it and painted it a little weird, worn out Wilton color. Yeah, I got the welder back there from the service truck. It's the one that comes with the first gear trucks, and it's got a spare tire. It's standard shop truck stuff. Crane still works. Just had to set it at an angle to not hit the smokestack, of course. Don't want to catch your truck on fire or burn your crane up. But overall, I think it came out pretty good. Little hydraulic lines back in there. I think the light bar on that is off of my Sword T800W that I'm working on right now. It's a lowboy truck. I'm trying to build it like the one that we have at work. But I think that's where that light bar came from. But there's those two, a couple custom T800s. They come apart pretty easy if you know, once you've done a couple, you can get them come apart pretty easy. But the first one or two, you're gonna be breaking stuff. I broke the glass out on one of them, and it's been donated to the parts box because I don't know where to get another piece. It's not something you can really repair. I haven't figured out how to vacuum form clear sheet styrene yet. But I think that's about the only way you could do it. Anyways, that's another review for you guys. If there's any other models that you want to look at, just let me know. I'm trying to give you guys as much info as I can. I know there's a lot of guys that try to build stuff that don't really know the ins and outs, and heck, I don't know. I've been out of it for so long, I don't know. There's so many things available on Shapeways anymore. You don't really have to build a lot of stuff from scratch anymore. But there's another one. Hope you guys liked it. Thanks for watching.